at a very young age, some of us get some of the opportunities you already have. I remember at the La Cathedral roughly about some 20 years ago, we had what we call mock parliament. I remember those times, there was pep stores. Some of you may not know pep stores. If you want all the nice shirts and everything, all the nice camboos, if you want a cambo with flex, it's pep stores. Yeah, there were some nice, I've reminded some people of some things. They buy some shirt and some tie, be like that. I remember my first photograph, we did some mock parliament, and from there we moved on to the British Council. And we did something, the mock parliament, that was an extension. The whole Ghana, our school was selected. And I remember I was a parliamentary candidate for a political party called Kistramo Democratic Party. Christians, traditionalists, and Muslims. Kistramo. Why am I telling all this? My days of advocacy started way back. Are we getting the point? So I was as young as GSS when I was doing all the rap and the pleasure gardens. Oh, we've gone there, we've rapped about AIDS and talked about all manner of things. So you can start small from wherever you find yourself. Today I may not be a rapper, but probably I rap in court. Okay? Yes. So when I'm in court, bars upon what? Bars. Let's clap for ourselves. So I am bringing you to understanding the relevance of advocacy and how to conduct successful advocacy. Naturally, I like to dance and I act. So some of the things are going to be very, very dramatic, right? I started doing drama right from my young age. Those times Kabore had his 25th anniversary. Please go on to the next slide. Okay, we are here. Those times Kabore had his 25th anniversary. I was part of the what we call the Achagboko group. So if you go and watch that video, you see me in Achagboko doing some Achagboko dance. I think now I may be able to start some Achagboko. So we are talking about advocacy, and we are looking at what advocacy is. I'm going to be taking you through what advocacy is. We'll let you know the basic tools in undertaking advocacy, steps in conducting advocacy, and measuring our advocacy results. So let's just remain here. How many of you have heard of fixed voter roads? Have you heard of fixed voter roads? Oh, if you have heard, you just say it. If you have not heard, then that means our advocacy has not gone down very well. We have to measure how our advocacy has gone. You heard about fixed voter roads? Okay. So as we go along, I'll ask what fixed voter roads was, because I have some of our partners who are over here. Let's go on, please. So let's quickly delve into it. Advocacy. There are various definitions of advocacy, but I want you to take into consideration certain keywords as they come up. Any action that speaks in favor of, recommends, argues for a cause, supports or defends, or pleads on behalf of others. So any action that speaks in favor, so you're speaking in favor, you are saying something in favor, you are saying something for a particular cause, you are arguing for a particular cause, you are supporting or defending a cause, or you are pleading on behalf of others for something. Advocacy means taking action to create change. Taking action to create change. At the end of the day, what you want is to what? Create what? Change. And the change we are talking about is positive change, not negative change. Are we okay? Those who can remember some years ago in the political circles, you hear positive change, positive change. Yes, advocacy means giving a person support to have their voice heard. Giving a person what? Support to have what? Their voice what? Heard. So you know some of our popular musicians like who? Shatawale and who? Stoneboy and who? Patapa and who? Samini and who? Mini Sami, yes, who again? Who? Lil Wayne, yes. So nobody will mention Kini Eyes. What? Kini Eyes and Agbeshi. Alright, Chief One. Okay, what is that? Good. Alright, so with these musicians, sometimes we engage them, want to propagate something. So we engage them because they have they have a target audience. No particular advert for any insurance company, but there's a particular insurance company which is using one lovely dancer, right, on social media, Mika Krawa. right? Aha. So you realize the message they are trying to propagate, because they have a particular target audience. When they use those figures and the manner in which they are communicating, they are able to sell the idea. They are able to sell what? The cause. So advocacy is about employing strategies for what? A change. And the change we are talking about is what? Positive change. Let's go on, please. So advocacy means getting support from another person to help you express your views and wishes and help them to stand for your rights. Advocacy is the act or process of support for a cause or proposal. Advocacy is an activity by any individual or group that aims to influence decisions with political, economic, and social institutions. You can find that on Wikipedia. So your advocacy is to what? Influence what? Decisions. Your advocacy is what? To influence what? Decisions. Advocacy is not about who can insult the most. Are you getting it? One sentence, 3 insults. Are we getting the point? So advocacy is your ability to what? To influence, to cause what? A change. And there are a lot of things that we want to change that we need to use what? Skills in what? Advocacy. If you need to cause a change, you need to what? Get it what? Right. Are we okay? It's not everybody we take to communicate a particular thing. Those who are experts in public relations, PR, will tell you. And those of you who have just checked on social media, one favorite hotel that I love is in the media, and they are dealing with them just across the bridge. If you don't know, you have to find out. Are we getting the point? Some of us, we check social media every 3 hours, find out what is going on. So that if the country is going to get hot, we know where we'll pass. We'll go to our hometown. But what I'm saying is that the social media has a very big reach. Are we getting it? And we'll get to tools of advocacy. We'll get to tools of advocacy. Let's kindly move on. Let me give you a working definition of advocacy. So advocacy can be defined as the act of gathering or driving voices to influence change for a desired or worthwhile cause or project. So advocacy can be defined as the act of gathering or driving voices to influence change for a desired or a worthwhile cause or what? Project. We get the point. Before I came in, or at the time I got in, I heard some of you talking about faulty street lights, some of you talking about keke riders, right? And I also heard somebody talk about, there was one from here who was talking about some other project. Yeah, the bridge. Instead of Car Bank, you said Access Bank. Car Bank people will come for you. I'm sure a lot of you didn't pay attention to the location. Yes, but I paid attention to the location, knowing very well YMCA Bridge, where we used to go and rap some days ago, is by it's by Car Bank now. Are you getting it? Yes, good. She was talking about YMCA Bridge. YMCA Bridge. They said YMCA Bridge. Isn't it the case? Or it was rather the Apede Bridge you're talking about. It's the YMCA one. So the committee members should be able to make amendments to that particular thing in the Hansard. Okay? Very, very important. It's very, very important. We take communication is key. You may be flowing so excellently, but you make a little bit of mistake, you are off. And one of the key things you need to know is that we'll get to the target audience. I do MC I do MC too as part of me loving to talk. Right? Part time. Those days that I used to do MC in church, you'll be speaking English now, somebody will tell you, don't forget. The people are telling you that change the medium of communication. Not because they don't understand English, but they are more comfortable with what? The local dialect. Right? So I quickly had to force myself to learn to communicate well in the local dialect. Public speaking of the Ewe language is different from me and you are on the table and talking. How you put things, how you couch it, how you even say please, how you even put the message across is very important. So knowing what to say, how to say it, and how to couch it is very, very important when it comes to advocacy. We'll get there. Let's go on. What do you see over here? What do you see? What is that? What comes to mind? Yes, please tell me what comes to mind.
Actually, what I can see is a guy trying to. I think he's trying to sing.
A guy
Yeah.
trying to sing, not
Yeah.
singing, he's trying. That's good.
And then on the other side, he's making an announcement. I think he's bringing into mind a concern.
A concern. Yeah. So, what do you see? My neighbor. It's my neighbor. Yeah.
As you said, I can speak away as well.
Yeah. You can go ahead.
You're fine. Nuke komelele mwenye ada ele communication ele enufuna popede da ele communication work me that is.
So all he's saying that he's trying to communicate something. And what is the use of the megaphone? Why do you think he's using a megaphone? Why do you think he's using a megaphone?
To make his voice being heard louder.
So to what? Amplify his voice. Okay? So figuratively, the megaphone could also be used as a means of what? Amplifying what you're saying. So the person is speaking and he's using what? A particular what? Medium. The medium is here what? A megaphone. You know, gone were the days when we're doing dumb broadcasting. You know, now people are not doing dumb broadcasting like before. Right? People will use the megaphone to be able to what? Communicate, to be able for their voice to be what? Heard. And using the megaphone would, immediately you hear the megaphone, it brings your attention that, oh, there's something important that is being mentioned. Gone were the days where the information service will come early in the morning, there's going to be polio this, there's going to be this and that, that they go around. They use that medium to be able to what? Activate, to amplify. So when you are doing advocacy also, you amplify the particular message that you're sending. And you must make sure that your message is clear, not confusing. It's short, it's straight to the point. Then people know exactly what you're saying. Are we getting the point clear? And when we get to the how you have to conduct advocacy, you know that you need to do a lot of research before you come up, because people ask you what? Questions. Are we okay? Good. Next. So basic tools in undertaking advocacy. What are the basic tools in undertaking advocacy? Identify the problem and your target audience. You identify the problem and you identify what? Your target audience. So if the problem is about sports development in young ones in Ho here, and our sister Tilda is doing, we want to advocate for young people to either do street night soccer, as was done some time ago, or for people to do a particular thing, maybe sanitation or any other thing, you would need to identify the problem. And you need to identify what? Your target audience. Which people should you address this matter to? Something cannot be going on in medical village, and you want to address that matter, or you want that matter to be addressed at area 51 or 52. The caliber of people who are living are different. I mean, everything is so different. Something happening at Ahwan Roundabout. That's my very good friend who sang that song. What's his name again? Clantay. Destiny. Allah. Right. Testimony. Yeah, my very good friend, Testimony. Something happening about the testimony at Ahwan Roundabout. You cannot apply it to Slate Flat or the Siadenyu. So you need to identify the problem and identify what? Your target audience. So if the problem is a youth-related problem, you will know that, okay, this is a youth-related problem. What are they likely to do? What are they likely to do? How can you communicate? Majority of the youth right now, we are on our phones. Are we getting it? Majority, we get our information from the phones. Yes, conconsa.com. Gone were the days you were looking for PMP and those papers. Now we don't have any of those. Are we getting the point? Junior graphic. You know, we don't even read the graphic. Everything is on social media. You just take and post. TikTok, Twitter, or Xstar. It's what? It's X, right? Facebook, Instagram. Which one again? What are the social media? What? Threads. Okay. Abi. Blanca. Abi Blanca. Great. So, Snapchat, exactly. So, identify the problem in your target audience. When you identify the problem and you identify your target audience, you are hitting at a particular point. So let me tell you a little bit story about fixed voter routes and how it started. You know, it didn't start off as an advocacy or a campaign. It started off as everybody doing his individual complaints. Then we realized the complaints we're doing were all getting towards one thing. It was about what? Roads. So we said, oh, we have done some few advocacy before about the library project and all those. When we see anything that's going on around, somebody will tag somebody, then somebody comment and small advocacy like that. So a few people were talking. Me too had, by the grace of God, I'd gone for a sponsored program in US. I came back and I was angry about the way our country was. Sometimes when you travel out of the country, when you come back, you only come back with anger. Because you come and see, these are people travel over here. When they go and they come back, look at the way our country is. I was angry. I was just angry. And I've been in Ho for about 22 years. Going in and coming out. And I've been to different parts of Ghana. I was born in the Brunga region. I've schooled in Ashanti region, schooled in Greater Accra. I've been to the northern region. I've been to the Upper East. The only region I've not been, the old 10 regions is the Upper West. I've been to Western, I've been to Central, I've been to Eastern. So every nook and cranny, at least I've been there. Are you getting it? So I felt like, there's not anything that we can do. And those who know the kind of work that we do, very, very sensitive, very especially I work as a state attorney. So I was communicating, airing out my views, and my brother, Elvis, got in touch with me. So, been seeing you've been talking about something, me too, I've been talking about something. Some other people have also been talking about something. Some photojournalists have also been taking some pictures. So let's bring our heads together. Right? These were totally unrelated people. But when the whole discussion started coming up, we needed to know, okay, we are talking about roads. We are not making it general. So we're not going to be talking about school buildings. We're not going to be talking about airports or any other thing. We are just limited it to roads. So the roads that we are talking about, is it every road that we can deal with? We said, no, let's identify some strategic roads. So we said, Ho to Accra. We'll all be going to Ho to Accra. Yes. Then we said, the Eastern Corridor Road, which is one of the main roads. Right? So we took the stretch from maybe Asikuma all the way to Fervor or all the way to Hohoi, then from Jasikan to the top. People say, it's not part of voter region, now it's OT. We have to find a way of defining it. Then we said, the whole Aflao Road. So you see, we had identified our target as what? Routes. We had identified 3 major routes that we wanted attention on. We had identified our target audience as what? The youth. We are the ones who are going up and down, going to school and doing all these other things, right? So we know what we are talking about, routes. And of course, it dovetailed into government's plan for the year, say year of routes. So if year of routes, then we can activate or we can talk about routes. But before we did our campaign, there was the Lekma campaign, Fix the Lekma Road, which was in Accra. So we're more bold in that, at least the advocacy is about roads now. So let's also look within and have a discussion. And as far as I can remember, it is one of the most loudest, decent advocacies that have been conducted in the voter region. Loudest, decent advocacy that have been committed that have been publicized in the voter region. It caught media attention. A lot of people got involved. I got some friends through that. I don't know if I got enemies, if I did get any. Well, it's part of the game. So we'll be dealing with the demerits of advocacy also. You have some challenges there. So identify your target audience and know exactly what you want. Conduct research on the issue. Gather data and evidence. We now have to look for the number of road accidents on the Peke stretch. We have to look for a number of accidents that we have had over here. Take pictures. My friends like Elvis and others had to go and do video directly on the road. Show how the road is like. Interview people. You are gathering data and what? Evidence. Because you need to speak with what? Facts. You need to be able to say, so and so number of people had accidents on this road. The accidents were because of the bad nature of the road. You need to be able to count probably the number of potholes from one stretch to the other. You are gathering what? Data. You need to know which contractor was awarded the contract, when the contract was started, why it has stalled. You need to conduct research. So you don't just get up and be talking and be making noise. Because if you don't conduct effective research and you don't have the data, you would just be shut up. Because people will what? Expose you. They ask you questions, you're unable to answer and say, So you are talking about probably teenage pregnancy in the Ho Municipality or something. They ask you how many people have gotten pregnant, how many people have done abortions, and you're not able to say, but the data shows a lot of people are getting pregnant. where is your source? Then it becomes a problem. Some of you pick things from media, social media, or pick things, and you don't verify, you don't do any fact checking, you don't conduct any research, you don't go to the right sources to ask information, then you just run with it, please. You will get an accident. Right? So conduct your research on the issue and gather data and evidence. I know because I'm a lawyer, I talk about evidence. I talk about evidence. You don't just bring anything, I'll query it. If you say it's a letter, I'll check the letter, check the source of the letter, go to the place, is that the original letter? Because in these days, people are giving all manner of fake news. We get it? So you don't want to run with something which is fake and speak so confidently about it and be deflated. Are you getting it? Your bars will not land. It will just be weak bars. Okay? Good. Even Kojo Sheldon will come and laugh at you. Let's go back. Let's just go back briefly. So identify individuals or organizations you can liaise with or coordinate with. Just like my brother said. Just like I said about my brother Elvis contacting me. He knew I was a voice. He knew that because of where I come from with my expertise, they could use me as a very good point because I have the legal understanding, I have the legal backing, and understand whatever we must do legally. So when it comes to legal settings and everything, you are rest assured. Then we have some people who are in media, Kokulumo and others who are in the media. He was also in the media. You need the media to amplify it. There are certain people in whole township, when you have any topic and they comment on it on social media, your topic will go far. One particular person I know is KG, Kofi Gbedema. There are some particular people, when they comment on social media, everybody is coming to look at. If it's entertainment and news, you know Elombini is one key person from here and Jonila. When they tweet or when they put it on Facebook, everybody will look at it. So sometimes, it is not about the experts, but it's about people who understand the cause that we are dealing with. So they had to get in touch with me. I also liaised with them because they also had the reach, they had the media and other people. So we did what we call coordination. So sometimes you identify the people you can liaise with. It's not everything you can do alone. And you know, when you're doing advocacy, yes, I want everybody to know that the thing is my baby. If you don't take time, when you start an advocacy and other people are joining you, like I am the owner, like I am the one who owns the thing. Now they are taking over the whole thing. If you don't take time, you feel like people are taking over something. You may own something, it may be your baby, but other people pick it up and they run with it. So learn to coordinate. Don't always be centered that it is my thing. I want my name to show on it. Then when they are doing the advocacy, my name should be the one which should be the head of it. For some of us, it was quite even difficult for me to sign on as secretary to the Fixed Voter Roads group. Because obviously, I know as secretary, you'll be the one to... Me, I don't like writing plenty. You'll be the one that will be asking questions and be speaking on media. They'll be interviewing you here and there. Your name will be going all around. And you think when we started the advocacy, it was easy? Family members call and say, hey, stop that thing. Oh, they will come and beat you. They will kill you. Some went through my wife. I told my wife that, hey, I am the one dealing with the issue. So if anybody comes to you, tell the person that it's my husband, deal with him. This is not a family affair. I had to reassure them. And I had to be security conscious also because of what you're doing, a lot of people may come up with any issues. And I had a lot of opposition. In fact, I had told my family, look, this thing, I understand exactly what I'm doing. Leave me on my own. Because people are telling me, oh, stop, oh, don't do it, oh, they'll come after you. Hey, you have a bright future. Hey, don't let them take you. Because people were thinking it was political. The two political parties, I know them. Then the deputy minister for the current government, I thought his son when the son was in GSS. So I know them right from before. The then regional minister, I knew him even before he became a regional minister. The chairman of the opposition party was in my church. I have friends in both political parties. But at the end of the day, the rules don't lead to their home. The rules that we are fighting for, they don't lead to our home. When my tie gets bust, I don't go to them for money. We get the point. So we had to say whatever was supposed to be said for our what? Our benefit. Let's go on. So identify your channel of communication. What way or how do you want to communicate? How do you want to send your advocacy message? Are you going to do it on social media? Are you going to be sending messages to people, WhatsApp messages? Are you going to post on Facebook? Do you want to do photojournalism? Take pictures? You know, sometimes some people don't say anything. They just take pictures and they post. And the pictures speak for themselves. And I just like that, my friends. Kweku Chains. You know he does advocacy. You know what he does is advocacy. Living legend. Living what? Legend. So you will take a scenario and compare it to what is being done elsewhere. And he will be making sense and be making a point. So he's doing some advocacy. His channel of communication is what? Social media. And he's adding a little bit of what? Comedy. Some people's advocacy may be through rap. Some people's advocacy may be just pictures. Some people's advocacy may just be just doing voice notes. Some may be doing emails. Some may be doing bulletins. Some may be doing drama. To advocate to bring home a point. We get the whole point. So in our case, we felt like, to be able to speak, we need to use what? The TV. TV because we can have what? Visuals, audio visuals, so people can see. Right? We can show pictures. So we decided also to send messages on WhatsApp. So we created broadcast list on WhatsApp. Sending messages and pictures all over. And sending credible write-ups. The pictures we took, we made sure that we got them from the right sources and we know exactly what we're sending. So we're not just sending any pictures or cooking up stories. There's also the temptation of over-exaggeration. You get the point? There's the temptation. You want to exaggerate. You want to make the situation look more than what it is. Please, be very careful. Don't over-exaggerate. And your head should not get swollen up when you're getting the attention. My brother, my sister, when the attention is coming, just watch it. Because you may feel like when you're even going on an interview on TV, your accent, you want to change your accent. You want to change. And sometimes, if you don't measure your emotions, you end up insulting people and you remind yourself, oh, did I really say this? There's some energy which you get inside you as if you are taking akpeteshi. Meanwhile, it's just some water that you have taken. You may even be hungry that day, but it will look as if you have eaten akpala before speaking. So please, and a very big please, plan. And always have cool heads. And always use the person who is best at communicating to the public to do the communication. It's not everybody who is fixed to be in the face of the public to communicate to. Yeah, it's not everybody. Sometimes the insults, the comments you receive and everything, you can't take it to. Some people go into depression. Are we okay? So, identify and engage duty bearers with your proposals. You see, it is not against, it's not a fight against them. It is not us against them. Because they are part of us. So I'll give you typical examples. When we're doing fixed Volta roads, the regional minister and others, yes, of course, they were the duty bearers, they were at the helm of affairs, but it was not as if we have a fight against them. It is not a fight. Because we created WhatsApp groups. And I can tell you, think the WhatsApp group were only those who wanted the roads who were there. There were security people on the platform checking whatever we were doing. So there were some people who come and insult the regional minister and will ask you that no, call it off. Drop it. If it's an insult, drop it. We'll take you off. We are not entertaining any insult or anything. Are you getting the point? We are not entertaining any insult or anything like that. If you want to speak to what? Facts. So those are some of the things that we were doing. Because you can't go and insult the person and later go into the person's face and say, oh, we'll beg you. They are the ones in it, doing the work. So you need to find how to engage duty bearers with your proposals. Keep records and monitor progress of work. Keep what? Records. So when we took pictures of how bad the roads were and the videos, some of you that you are seeing the roads that we have markings on them and everything, that you have double road in Ho, apart from the Ho Technical University, which had which looked like the first one double road in Ho. The Ho Technical University, that was the first double road in Ho. Now you are seeing even the drivers are just misbehaving on the road. They don't even know how to drive on the dual carriage. So when we're talking about the roads, the problem that we have generated is now there's dual carriage. People don't know how to drive on dual carriage, so they are driving on the opposite side. So we have to do another advocacy for people to do the right thing. You get the point? So the advocacy work, it doesn't stop. You start from somewhere, some other problem, something good comes up, and some other problem would be identified from it. You need to do a lot to teach your people. So keep records, monitor progress of work. When we started, somewhere around 2019, how bad the nature of the road, when we did our demonstration or when we did our press conference, which was covered in the news, that part of the road was not tarred. Now I pass that the place is tarred, fully tarred. Now I drive when I'm going to Sokoto, I drive like at least some 80 kilometers per hour there. If nothing stops me, I'm on my way. But those times, Charlie, My legs are on the brake like something. So monitor what? Keep your records and monitor what? The progress. Appreciate efforts towards your cause. So if at any point in time you see somebody has spoken about your cause, somebody has commended you, or somebody has said something, or something has been done towards the achievement of your goal, appreciate it. Always learn to say thank you. Always what? Learn to say thank you. Do not abuse the opportunity that you get with duty bearers. Some of us, when we get the opportunity, we abuse it. Calling incessantly, calling unnecessarily, sending barrage of messages and harassment and stuff like that. When you are given such an opportunity, value that opportunity that you have given. I can give you a typical example. Although I knew the regional minister before fixed voter roads, after fixed voter roads, I never had his phone number. But now personally, I have his phone number. And he will give you updates. Oh, the roads we are doing this year, we are going to do this year. They are updating you. You don't even ask for the update. Oh, they are not telling you what the updates are. Anytime we meet him anywhere, he say, oh, fixed voter roads. It is a message that has what? Sunk. And because we made some noise, now even the 66 Independence Day, they had to do some patching on the road to make the place look nice. At least we enjoy some good roads for some few months before it's now deteriorating. Isn't it? Who would have thought that Independence Day will come and do it in Ho? Who would have thought of it? Right now, Ho has become what? A conference destination. All conferences are coming. People are driving in. People are going out. People are coming. Do you know how many people enter Ho? Do you know how many investments are coming to Ho? Because the roads we're talking about. And I'll just tell you, when we had to gather data, we talked about some of the benefits we can get. How tourist destinations and how the roads, the good roads will bring in revenue, how people will come and build, how farming. We had to gather data and talk about our proposals. If you don't have the data, if you don't do your research, how can you submit a very good proposal? How can you make a very good point in advocacy? We get the point. So it's not just about getting up to speak. You need to conduct your data. And at a point, I'll tell you, you need to do comparative analysis. Study other places that whatever you are talking about has been implemented and how well they have implemented it. And do a comparative analysis and use that as a baseline to even advocate and say, oh, this thing was being done here. It has gone this way. I'll give you a particular example. During COVID-19, right? Various assemblies were doing various things with the wearing of nose mask. The Ho Municipal Assembly adopted what? When we get you on the spot, you pay 20 cedis and we'll give you what? A nose mask, right? That was a much more better approach. And you know, they found their way in some of their bylaws. There's something about levy or something. That's why they went under. So when we started talking about the positive effects, do you know what happened? Samson Laden, when he was doing his show on COVID and the law, decided to take Ho Municipal Assembly and talk about what Ho Municipal Assembly was doing. What were we doing? Even though it was on advocacy and we're talking about something good that is happening, it gave the Municipal Assembly a positive light. So the whole Ghana, everybody say, Ho Municipal Assembly is doing something nice, the news is covering it. What does it give? It gives a positive effect. So our advocacy must not always be about the negatives, but also can be about what? A positive. Because the positive will sell the people. So they don't see you as an enemy. They don't see you as an enemy of progress. You talk about the positives and you also talk about the negatives. That's why I said at every single point that when there's some achievement, there's something good that is being done, let's appreciate them. Because you see, if you look at things with political lenses, you can never see the good in anything that is being done. We get the point? And just to tell you, when we were doing our advocacy, the political parties came. Oh, we want to join you, we want to join your demonstration or something like that. We said, no, we won't join us. At a certain point in time, we had to issue disclaimers and things. National security and others were following every single thing that we were doing. We were ready. But we survived. If you know what you're doing and you know what you're doing is right, you'll never be scared of anything. And if you follow the right process, you'll never be scared of anything. Let's go on. So, advocacy methods. Advocacy methods build partnerships and alliances. You can also you can start a public campaign. It may be through social media. It may be through various platforms. You can start campaign actions. You know, these days, those who are propagating the Bible, they have placards. They stand at intersections and they raise it, right? Or they stand at certain points and they raise it. They become like human soundboards, right? So you can design stuff like that. Stop dumping refuse here, or stop this, or stop that. So you can use those ones as what? Advertising what? Campaigns, or you can use them as what? Campaign what? Signs. Then you can also start some online news. Online news, you can blog, you can write about something, keep a consistent writing about a particular issue, follow up on that particular issue. Then you are building some form of, you are using the various methods. Let's go on quickly. I'll be telling you about lobbying and campaigning. Let's go on. Lobbying or direct communication. This involves influence through direct, private communication with duty bearers. Lobbying through personal meetings with decision makers. Sometimes you need to sit the people down and have a conversation with them. Somebody asks, hey, how will I get the opportunity to meet the MC? The MC is working for you, is working for me. You can go and book an appointment to meet the MC. Somebody will tell you, oh, it will be difficult, the people will be treating me some way. Have you made the effort? Have you made the effort? Somebody say, I want to meet the regional. When you want to meet the regional minister, you go and book an appointment. When you want to meet the regional, when we wanted to meet the regional minister, it's an appointment that we booked, and he met us, and we took pictures with him. So sometimes you meet them, and you have to have that direct communication, because lobbying, and remember the definition of advocacy, we want to what? Influence, change in what? Certain decisions and policies which are done. Some things, when it's said out loud, people don't really take it. But when it's on one-on-one, they really get to understand it. So lobbying is one of the key things that you can do. And just as they said, the presiding member said, some of the assemblywomen, they do what? Lobbying skills. The project comes, then they'll go and lobby or bring it up. Look, if you don't shout, nobody knows the kind of sickness you have. If you are sick and you don't tell people you are sick, how will somebody know you have a problem? So you have to advocate, and people will bring it to your doorstep. And just as I mentioned, when people started seeing that Ho has nice hotels, like the hotels we know around, not to give any advertisement to any other place, right? People started bringing conferences here. As I speak, some Bank of Ghana and others are here. Don't ask me whether they are coming to discuss their losses. Are we okay? So universities are coming to the town. Of course, once population is growing, crime is also what? Growing. Sanitation, Ho is called the oxygen city and the neatest city what in the whole of what? Ghana.